Hey there, everybody. How's it going today? Ian back here with you, Entertainment Examiner. Hey, I'm going to be doing part two of my ranking of the horror series, where I pick a horror movie, franchise, or series, and I rank all the installments in that series. Usually, I have the individual movies to show you like each one on the camera, like I did with the last one. But for the Nightmare on Elm Street, which is my favorite horror film series, I just have this really cool box set. So I'll try to like insert some poster art so you have a better look of what I am going to be talking about. I'm just going to do the 7 films. I did Freddy vs. Jason on the last video, so you can watch that. So yeah, I'm just going to do the regular 7 here. So kind of using the discs in the back of the case to help me. I kind of know what I'm going to do. This is a relatively easy one. Kind of the great ones are the great ones, and the ones that aren't. So I'm going to start at the bottom with Freddy's Dead, the New Nightmare. I'm sorry, Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. I misread that. Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare is my bottom of the pile on this film series. Came out in 1991. It's not very memorable. It kind of tells some backstory. It has some interesting cameos, like from Johnny Depp, who was in the first film, Roseanne and Tom Arnold. Alice Cooper's in it. Lisa Zane plays Freddy's daughter. A lot of wisecracks. The deaths aren't very interesting. The one that sticks in my mind is the one where he kills the kid inside of a video game. It's just not a great entry. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not. If you want to watch a Freddy movie, you probably don't want to watch Freddy's Dead, so I'd stay away. The next one up on the list would be part 5, the Dream Child. You can put 4 and 5 together, really, as one, but I think that the Dream Child doesn't take as many chances as the Dream Master. It's not as memorable. It's not as effective. I mean, of course, throughout this entire series, you have Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, who always does a fantastic job. I'm not a huge fan of part 5. It's okay, directed by Stephen Hopkins. It's just not a very memorable entry in the series. That's all I have to say about that one, really. The next one up on my list is probably going to be Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This is a very interesting installment in the franchise. It's a very sexualized entry. A lot of people, there's even a documentary on the Shudder series about the actor Mark Patton, who played the lead in the film. It's kind of like Freddy's breaking into the real world. Like the scene where he kind of comes through, literally through Mark Patton's character, is pretty interesting. Besides that, I think some of the stuff works, some of the stuff doesn't. It's just not as effective of a sequel as it could be, coming off the awesome original. So the beginning with the school bus is pretty cool too. But besides that, I don't come back to Freddy's Revenge very often. But it's, looking back, it's not as bad of a film as people I think originally say it is. So next up on my list is part 4, the Dream Master. I like the Dream Master, albeit I don't like the way Freddy's brought back. I think it's kind of stupid. You have the waterbed kill is awesome, and I love the scene with the girl turns into a bug in the bug house and he squashes her. That's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in the Dream Master, including how Freddy dies at the end with all the arms and stuff. That's really cool. So Dream Master is actually pretty good in this franchise. It doesn't dip, but it doesn't really take off anyway. So the next 3 films, I'm very divided on what I think and how to rank them. So I'm just gonna go. And my top one, I'm surprised is my top one, but I think because I've seen it more often, and it's such a classic. So the third one down on my list is gonna be Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which any other day I might have had it like 2. I love New Nightmare. The whole idea for it is so cool that like you have the actors playing themselves, like Heather Langenkamp and Robert Englund and Wes Craven are all playing themselves, but you have Freddy, that actual character, Freddy Krueger, trying to come into the filmmakers' real lives and hurt Heather Langenkamp and her son, played by Miko Hughes. And it's such a cool idea. It's so well executed. Wes Craven came back and directed it. He's the man. with Nightmare, and I think he does a stellar job. And it's one of the best entries in that series because it's so creative and it's so well done. And I just love New Nightmare. So the second highest film on my list is right now. I'm not sure. Right now, it would probably be Dream Warriors, which I know many people are going to yell at me about, but that's okay. Um, I I love Dream Warriors. It's fun. Dream Warriors is just fun. What Wes Craven came back as a co-writer. Heather Langenkamp came back, but all these nightmare kids in this institution who, um, Freddy comes to them in their dreams, and they all have to band together. They're all different, and they have to fight him off. It's so cool. I mean, the girl through the TV, um, ready for prime time bitch is like one of the best kills, and Robert Englund ad-libbed that line. It's still a classic. Uh, the whole cast is really cool. I think part three is just awesome. I love part three, but I got to go with part one as my favorite. I watched it again recently, and it's just, I mean, part one is so great. It's scary. Freddy's actually scary in like the first three, maybe a little bit of four, b- before he kind of turns into this wisecracker. And then I think he got scary again in New Nightmare. Um, but part one is so classic. You got Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp, Ronnie Blakely, Robert Englund. Nobody knew who he was. About this child murderer who who is burned alive and comes back in all the children's dreams on Elm Street where he lived, and everything is so creative. Everything happens in the imagination and the dream world, and Heather Langenkamp's Nancy trying to stay awake. And apparently, this was inspired by an article of something that actually happened. In terms of somebody having these dreams and staying awake, not Freddy Krueger, but you know what I mean. So, part one is just so. I mean, Johnny Depp's kill scene is iconic. There's just so much in part one that I love. And as I said, it's almost impossible for me to rank 1, 3 in New Nightmare. But if I had to right now, that's what I would rank them as. So, of course, you have Freddy vs. Jason, and there's also if you have this box set, there's 2 episodes from the Freddy's Nightmares TV series, in which Robert Englund plays Freddy in each episode, hosting. It's an anthology series. It was only on for 2 seasons, and I really hope that show gets a full release because I know it was on a couple networks. They played all the episodes, but I think Freddy's Nightmares needs a full release. I mean, come on. It's only 2 seasons, but yeah, I love the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Met a few of these people, especially Robert Englund at a convention. Robert's the best. If you've never been to a convention and met Robert Englund, you need to do that like now. Find him somewhere. He's the best. He's just such a great guy. He'll talk to you forever. So, okay, that is my ranking for the Nightmare on Elm Street film series, and this ranking the horror entry. Like, comment, and subscribe to my page, Entertainment Examiner. Leave me a comment. What is your Nightmare on Elm Street ranking? I'm sure it'll be different than mine because everybody thinks of these films differently. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. And ring the bell for notifications so you guys know when I post new videos. So, okay, that's all I have for you for this ranking video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.